everybody, it's the Warhipster here, coming at you with another Contrast Plus painting tutorial, and today we are painting the brand new multi-part Terminators. I almost said push fit, but they are not. These are the multi-part Terminators, and we've already waxed lyrical about these in many places of the internet, so I shan't bore you for too long, but they have been sent to me early by Games Workshop to build up and paint for all of you, and that's exactly what we're doing today. We are painting them up as Salamanders. Yes, for my burgeoning Salamanders army. Now we've got all 5, but we are just going to focus on these 3, mostly because we've just got a little bit of individual detail here and there. So for example, this is our sergeant, we've got our heavy flamer just here, and we've got a bear head just in there as well. So that's why I picked out these 3, but these will be transferable across all of the Terminators in the box. So they've been primed in grace here, and the colour we're going to be using first is some Karandras Green. I'm going to be applying this over the top of all of the armour that is going to be green. So in this guy's in the case of all of them, we're going to be applying this over the top of the legs, the arms, but we're not going to be applying this over the top of the shoulders, and in our sergeant's case, we're not going to be applying this over the top of the tilting shield on his chest. We're also going to be applying this over the top of the fingers of the power fist, but not the top of the power fist. But as with any contrast endeavour for Space Marines, we're just going to take this a section at a time, nice and steady, using these big broad brush strokes to just glide across the surface, keeping towards the tip of the brush so we don't overload any areas, so we can get a nice smooth coat just like that over the top of areas such as those shin guards. Or greaves, I believe is what they're actually called. So just take your time, move nice and methodically across the miniature. And then once all that's done, we'll come back. So with all of that Karandras Green applied to all of our armour, what we're now going to do is going to take some Warp Lightning. We're going to apply this over the top. So just once again, I'm just going to start by taking it a section at a time, nice and steady. And just trying to stick towards the tip of the brush, and just gliding across those surfaces. You don't want too much on your brush, of course, if you don't want to start drowning it in the paint. Just like this. So with that done, you should have an absolutely gorgeous green armour all the way around, but now is not the time to bask in our green. What we need to do is move on to our next colour, which is going to be some Black Legion. I'm going to be using this for lots and lots of different details. So firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to use this to paint in any of the soft joints in the armour. So we've got these ones behind the legs, like that. We're also going to be applying this over the top of the little casing up here. Like so. For this guy, we're also going to be applying this over the top of the tilting shield. Like that. We're going to apply this over the top of any casings on any guns. And we're also going to apply this over the top of the shoulders. So with that Black Legion applied to all of those details across all of our Terminators, we just picked up this one with the bear head, because what we're going to do is we're going to take some Ratling Grime and we're going to apply this over the top of the face. With that now done, we're then going to take some Skeleton Horde and we're going to apply this over the top of all of the parchment. With all that Skeleton Horde applied, we're then going to take a little bit of Volupus Pink and we're going to use this to apply over the top of any of the little wax seals. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take some Basilicanum Grey. I'm going to use this over the top of the Crux Terminatus and the kind of symbols that they have down here on their knees. Sergeant's one is a little fancier. And the Crux Terminatus, for those of you who don't know, is the thing on the shoulder. So with that all done, what we're now going to do is we're going to take 3 colours, Bad Moon Yellow, Gryph-Hound Orange and Blood Angels Red. I'm going to apply this over the top of our Power Fists. Now our Power Fists are going to be black, but we want to have some freehand flames going on there. So what we're going to do is we're going to apply the kind of fiery texture first, and then we'll do the black over the top. So we're going to start by taking some Bad Moon Yellow, and we're just going to apply this all over the top of the Power Fist. Like that. Then we're going to wash the brush. Then we're going to grab some Gryph-Hound Orange. I'm going to apply this in there like that. Then we're going to wash the brush. Grab some Blood Angels Red. And we're going to apply this like that in the middle. Then we're going to wash the brush one more time. And then grab some Bad Moon Yellow. I'm going to use this to kind of move the colours around and blend them together to create this kind of fiery panel. Like so. It doesn't have to be perfect. I'm going to come in here and actually grab a little bit more Blood Angels Red. Just add that in there. And that sort of thing. So with that all done, you should have 3 Power Fists looking all hot and fiery. So what we're going to do now is we're going to paint in the flames by reverse painting in the black. So we're going to take the Black Legion here, and what we're going to do is we're going to start kind of tracing out where we want our flames to be. So I'm going to go for something like, I want to start one just here. So I'm going to draw a little kind of corner like that sort of thing. And I'm gonna start bringing this down just like that sort of thing. So we've got our first one there. So now we're gonna just connect that up, like that sort of thing. So we've got our next one there next to it. Just like that sort of thing. And then we're going to flip it over, and then we're going to block in our Power Fist. So with that done, we've got 3 different distinctive looking at designs on our Power Fist, and that's exactly what we want. So what we're going to do is we're going to move on now, and we're going to take some thinned down Retributor Armour, and we're going to apply this over the top of pretty much all of the decoration and things like that. So we've got the Aquillas on the chest, naturally. Like so. But on this guy in particular, we have areas such as this little device here on the tilting plate, and we got some extra decoration here on the hips. And we got a little gem just up here. So all of that Retributor Armour applied, we're now going to take some thinned down Iron Warriors, and we're going to apply this over pretty much all of the remaining details, excluding the heat shield on our Heavy Flamer. So I'm just going to take that Iron Warriors on our brush. I'm going to start just here on the Storm Bolter. So with all of that Iron Warriors applied, we're then going to apply our final base coat, which is going to be some thinned down Castellax Bronze. And I'm going to apply this over the top of the heat shield on our Heavy Flamer. So with that done, we're now going to add some shades because we've got all of our base coats on. And the first of these is going to be some Nuln Oil. We're going to apply this over the top of all of the black and all of the silver and the Castellax Bronze. So I'm just going to start just here. And get this all over. And what we can also do is add this over top of those casings for the bullets in the mag on the Storm Bolters. And with all that Nuln Oil applied, we're then going to take some Reikland Fleshshade and apply this over the top of all the gold. And with that Reikland Fleshshade all applied, we're then going to take a small amount of Bad Moon Yellow. I'm going to apply this over the top of their eye lenses. Just like that. And so with that done, we're then going to take a tiny amount of Phalanx Yellow, and we're going to apply this over the top of the eye lens. There's a little line going right across the middle, like so. And we're also going to use this to add a little line going across the sharpest edge at the bottom of all of our power fists. So with that done, our Terminators are now what I would call a Warhipster battle ready, and they're looking pretty cool. However, we're not going to leave them there. Of course we're not. We're going to take them to the next level, and we're going to do this by adding some highlights. The first one of these is going to be some thinned down Moot Green. I'm going to use this to highlight all of the green. So with that all done, we're then going to once again take some Phalanx Yellow. Only this time what we're going to do is we're going to pick out the sharpest areas in all the green. So for example, at the top here, we want a little bit of a light point focus. Just going to add Phalanx Yellow highlight like that. We're going to add this over the top of this little bit here on the helmet. Going across there. On that corner and that corner, going across there, coming down, going around the gorget, both layers of it, just like this sort of thing. So with that all done, we're going to now move on to our next colour, which is going to be all the black details. And the colour we're going to be using to highlight these is some thinned down Dawnstone. I'm just going to start picking out all of those edges. So with all that Dawnstone applied, we're then going to take some Administratum Grey. We're going to use this to do two things. Firstly, what we're going to do is we're going to use this to pick out the sharpest corners and edges in all of our black. just like that sort of thing. But what we're also going to do is we're going to use the Administratum Grey to highlight our Basilicanum Grey areas. So with that now done, the black and the grey are finished. So what we can do is we can take some thinned down storm vermin fur. We can use this to highlight the skin on our bare head. And with that storm vermin fur applied, we then take a tiny amount of Adrax stone. I'm going to use this on the sharpest points. And with that Adrax stone applied, we're then going to take a teeny tiny amount of Evil Sun Scarlet. I'm going to use this to paint in his eyes. So with that now done, what we can do is move on. I'm going to use some thinned down Ironbreaker. I'm going to use this to highlight all of our silver details. With that Ironbreaker applied, we're then going to take a small amount of Blood Angel's Red and apply this over the top of any lenses. Like that. And we're also going to apply this over the top of this little cable just down here. With that Blood Angel's Red applied, we can now take some thinned down Liberator Gold, and we can use this to highlight all of the gold. And so with all of that Liberator Gold applied, we're going to finish things off by taking some thinned down Runelord Brass. I'm going to use this to highlight our Castellax Bronze. And with our bases complete, our Salamanders Terminators are now finished. They're a really cool little kit to do, quite fun. The building of them, as I've already established, was pretty good, and I like these Terminators a lot. They feel easier to paint than the older ones because there's a lot more kind of space and real estate, and they just look really effective as Salamanders, especially as Power Fist. I'm very pleased with those. Really, really nice. Great stuff.
If you enjoyed this video, you love the channel and you'd like to support me further, you absolutely can do so by heading to patreon.com/warhipster, just like all of these wonderful amazing people have done. And alternatively, you could become a YouTube channel member by clicking on the join button below, exactly like these fabulous folks have done, scrolling up on the screen before you. There are so many of you out there that it really takes my breath away, and I cannot thank you enough for everything you do, as without you I wouldn't be able to keep making these Contrast Plus videos. And if you really like this video and you want to send me a little thanks, just click on the thanks button just below this video. Don't forget to share it, like it, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and to make sure you stay up to date, don't forget to click the bell icon. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all very soon in the next one. Happy wargaming.